Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. My name is David. I'll be one of your co-hosts. We have a packed show today. The SEC has identified its next victim, and it is Coinbase, as they have been served an official lawsuit. What does this mean? What new tokens have been listed as securities? We're also going to talk some NFTs. We have an interview from Gary Gensler we're going to discuss, and much, much more. But first, here's your other co-host, Robin.
Hola! Is your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of Las Vegas. Golden Knights, who won yesterday. 2 in a row. If you're new here, say hello so we can drop an Ola back at you. And a little bit about us here. We take all that old, boring, and stale information that you typically get at other cryptocurrency channels, but we do it in a fun, flashy, and kind of sexy way. In a Vegas way. And Bitcoin is rallying. It's pumping, even though all exchanges are dumping. So that's kind of strange, right? We're actually up almost 4%. We've almost made up the gains. We almost made up the losses from yesterday.
You know what else is not dumping and pumping? It's our internet. And there's a reason for that. It's because of channel sponsor Cam's Blue Wire Technology. If your business is having IT solution or IT issues, you need help with your network, any of that stuff that we don't know anything about, you're going to want to give them a call. Go visit bluewiretech.com or click the link in the description of this video. Now, yesterday we couldn't start off with anything funny because it was a dark day. But seeing as today, crypto and Bitcoin has said, screw you, Gary Gensler, we don't care. We're going to pump it. We're going to start off like we usually do with some funny things. So, Exhibit A, Rocco. Dogs are just the best. Why dog's so funny, dude? That's funny. Also, so I'm gonna play a little bit of it, and then I'm gonna stop it. I'm gonna ask you, what do you think is gonna happen? So,
should I?
I got two guys.
A tree?
Two guys are holding up a log and they're running at the tree. What do you think happened?
They're going to run into the tree and both fall and clothesline themselves?
Well, let's see if Robin's right. And Robin's right. Oh, man.
Should I?
We also have this pretty cool haircut. I'm curious, how much would someone have to pay you, Robin? Axolotl haircut here.
Oh, that's a lizard.
It's an axolotl. Okay, that
it's actually pretty. It's
crazy.
pretty impressive. I'll say
know.
that. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy impressive. And we also have, thought about you here. People pretending like they're experts in certain fields they're not really experts in. Girls on Instagram who take half-naked pictures that think they're models. Well, guess what? This is, I feel like something you would say. Girl ever told you, I'm a model on Instagram. What about you? I'm a captain, leader of my squadron on Call of Duty.
The Call of Duty has came out with a ranked mode, and your boys climbing up the ranks pretty quickly. I mean, just throw that out there. Did you see the Apple's headset release?
I did.
Yeah, $3,500, man, for just like no accessories. But there are some accessories that are going to come, of course. So you have here the snorkel attachment for $8.99. So now you can scuba dive in the metaverse.
Wow, snorkel.
So yeah, yeah.
Are you going to buy one of those?
Here's the thing. Somebody put an interesting perspective here. It's $3,500. Would you spend $3,500 on a headset?
No.
Would you spend 1.9 ETH on a JPEG NFT?
No.
You have in the past.
As an investment?
This could be an investment. It's a tool that you can use for research, right? Or entertainment. You could argue that if you here in the crypto space, if you're willing to drop 1.9 ETH on a utility-less, nothing, it doesn't do anything other than a promise. 1.9 ETH, you'll drop it on a picture. You know what? I remember it wasn't too long ago. You were like, Rob, if Bored Apes get under 20 ETH, are you buying one? And then you were like, I am. Remember?
Well, it's an investment. Make money.
So you're saying that there's...
How am I going to make money with the headset? Show me how to make money. Yeah. Watch
man.
to earn.
Watch me earn, you know? Put that... Yeah, well,
so fun. Now that we're talking about Apple, I was going to save this for a little later, but this is their commercial, what they put out there. And so kind of interesting. It's about 1.5 minutes long. So let's play.
You can't play that music, bro. Thank you.
So,
yeah. Well, the nice copyright laws here in U.S. and
it's interesting that you can still see through the goggles, right? Or through the headset.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, they're projecting the environment around you. It's no different than when you hear the transparency mode on your headphones.
There, that's this kid.
Yeah, so the goggles, they have computer chips and hardware in between. You're not actually seeing through there. It's projecting the world. It's like having FaceTime on the back end of your phone and the phone being stuck to your face. You're just looking. They're just showing you what the world looks like on the other side. And the same thing with your eyes. So your eyes are projected on the front of the display, and so people can like look at you, looking at them or whatever it is with the headset on, and the eyes are just basically just posted on the front.
I mean, I think the functionality is kind of cool, but like, who the hell's going to want to wear that massive thing on their face?
You get 2 hours of battery life. But here's the thing. The battery sits in your pocket. And so if you're watching a movie, first of all, you can just plug it into the wall. You could just have to keep it plugged in. But here's the thing. Who's going to be watching the Titanic walking around their house? Like, like plug that damn thing in, have a seat. And it's no different than when your phone dies and you're on the couch. What do? You plug it into the wall and then you get back on the phone, right?
Yeah, but I'm not wearing my phone on my face.
Yeah, but you're holding it, watching videos. What's any different than freaking instead of holding it like this? Is you get what I'm saying? Here's the thing. You know what? When iPhone came out, when iPhone first came out, 2007, I remember BlackBerry was the craze. My buddy rolled up with an iPhone, and I'm like, "Where the buttons at?" He's like, "There's no buttons." I'm like, "That's dumb." Like, how much that cost? I think it was $600. And at the time, that was when all the phones are free, $99, $199. The newest BlackBerry was like $299. Anyways, I was like, $600? Like, hell no. That's stupid.
You think Meta's in trouble?
Hell yeah, they're in trouble. Now, Meta has got a product that's $1,000. Theirs is $3,500. And honestly, they have the pass-through VR as well. You're going to have a little bit more connectivity because it's not... You don't
the
have...
Apple one?
Yeah, the Apple one, it's no different than like Samsung and Apple like it is now. Think of Samsung and Apple. Samsung, you can pretty much download anything you want. You can create any kind of app or whatever it is. But here, with Apple, you're only going to be able to use the apps that they give you. The same way you can only use apps that are on your phone or watch or whatever. Like, you can't just like go rogue and download something somebody made. And so, they have that advantage. But I don't know, man. I think Apple, more people are more willing to drop big money on Apple products, right? Nobody has an issue dropping $1,300 on a phone, right? These start at $999. They start at $999, and then that's if you want the boo-boo amount of memory in there that ain't enough. And then you want a bigger screen, that's another $200. And so before you know it, you're already at $1,500. That's half the price. And if you use, and then people got no problem dropping.
So are you buying it or not?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in, baby. I'm in.
Speaking of being in, I want to bring in, we have two guests joining us today. The first is our friend, Honest. Let's bring on Petchman. My brother, how you doing, bro? Good to see you, man.
What's going on?
I'm happy to see you back. That means you like me and not Robin. obviously, because if it was
Man, I like you and y'all like me, man. I appreciate being back, man.
my man.
You buying this VR headset from Apple? That's what I want to know. We're in the middle of a heated discussion on this.
It's a total L. Like, are you serious? Okay,
Wow, okay.
glasses, like you could literally, just like you said, you could take the iPhone, put it here, put some straps on it, and it would be 100% better than what the hell they got going on right now. Remember the old VR where you just actually took your phone and put it in, clicked it into the VR, and then you were in VR?
Yeah.
Those are VRs. I think, man, what is this? Like I hate that big old,
Yeah.
like on the back. Like, how are you going to walk? I want to see it where you walk down the street and it is augmented reality to where you can see through it and you can see everything you're doing.
There's nothing stopping you from walking down the street with that thing. I mean, you might look like a fool.
I'm sure there's a few
but
things
I'm just
stopping
saying that, like, you could put the battery sits in your pocket. You can walk down the street.
Distance.
Don't walk around in San Francisco. People know how much it costs. They might just snatch it.
This guy. Hey, Honest, thank you so much for joining us again, man. I found an article I wanted to get your opinion on, and this is pretty interesting. You know, you're pretty deep in the NFT space. I know last time we spoke, you've been on other chains outside of ETH, and one that doesn't really get any mention is Avalanche. But apparently there's some stuff happening on the Avalanche network. This is from NFT Now. Avalanche unveils new marketplaces and plans to bridge the physical/digital gap. 2 new marketplaces are coming to the Avalanche blockchain. Super Chief Gallery NFT and 01 both announced partnerships with Avalanche. Further, Avalanche shared that it has entered a partnership with Legitimate to bring phygital. Never seen that phygital. Phygital experiences to. I don't like that word, man. That's a dumb word. But regardless of the stupid word, have you used the Avalanche network minting NFTs? Or if you haven't, do you know people who haven't? What's your experience? Does Avalanche have any chance of maybe not supplanting Ethereum, Solana, but at least being in the conversation?
Well, actually, whenever the Ethereum craze kind of came down, that's when all the rest of the blockchains actually came out with NFTs. So I got into AVAX NFTs. I got into the domain names. So I don't really know about like it. To me, it's just another blockchain. I didn't see nothing really just stand out-ish. But the news is bullish. That looks bullish. I've had NFTs on there. A couple of the businesses and products on there are pretty cool. I really haven't tried out any of the actual blockchain uses of AVAX with the NFTs, but yeah, I think I've been on NF Trade, and I was getting alpha from, I think it's like avaxnfts.com or something like that back years ago. Man, I haven't checked that wallet in so long, but I do. I think I have like some AVAX punks and some Pepes. You know, I love Pepes in every blockchain, but
No.
yes, I think it might have a small little playable future, but they have to integrate something other than NFT because every blockchain got NFTs. What else is there? What else do you got?
I think you bring up a good point is, it's like a new layer 1 comes out and we're faster and more secure and decentralized. Well, that's what every single layer 1 says. What makes you different? You threw out the word alpha. You got any alpha on any new projects coming out or anything that you feel like is super undervalued that you maybe personally be looking at or people should be at least eyeing or putting on their watch list?
Man, I don't know if y'all ever heard of Fuocious. Fuocious is an NFT artist, like an actual artist. It's like Fuo World. It's a cool guy, man. He entered the NFT project through painting in, I think, New York or something like that, and a lot of people picked up his paintings. He went viral. Real young guy. I think he was underage at the time. He was like 17. Now he has a awesome project. He sold an NFT for over $1 million. He had one of the biggest bashes during Same time 8 Fest was going on. They
He's,
let
he
everybody.
sold he sold one piece of art for $20 million, or just shy of 20 million. I see here.
Yeah, so Oshus is really unspoken of, and he actually been airdropping people projects, just like how Bored Ape has been doing it. He's been doing the same thing, and his projects have been holding weight, but more on the artistic level. So he's about to drop a actual NFT project. Everything else is pretty much art, but he's about to drop a thing called Fuel World, where it's the characters, and I'm really bullish on that. I think you either go with public mint or have like an actual a little drop you can actually mint for free. So for the last couple of days, but it's that's the alpha I think I have. I'm definitely going with Fuocious. He's really bullish. Everybody's in, but it's not
So
really
you-
like no.
So you said it's going to be called Fuocious World, and that's kind of his NFT segment or drop.
Thinking about like not a metaverse, but like a community chat with bots on it. So pretty much what people call metaverses, we could call it, but they're not really calling it a metaverse. They're just calling it like a community gathering. And so it's a real big, strong community. If y'all would have even seen the pictures of this Fuel World, they literally let everybody paint on the walls, and then they took little squares, and then they airdropped them back to the holders of everybody that actually painted. And those were worth probably up to $2,000. Then they airdropped everybody a paint can and paint drops, and it was just like some Bored Ape stuff, but it's really not talked about. I don't know why, but I'm super bullish on Fuocious.
Well, he's got this one on his website. It's only $2,857,000. So it's a steal at 654 ETH. That's that'll get you about 80 of the Apple headsets. All right.
Hey, there's not a lot of people talking about it, but guess what? We're talking about it on this channel. And so we appreciate you joining us on this, bringing us some alpha. Guys, if you want more alpha, NFT alpha from our friend Honest, go follow him on Twitter at I'm a Bored Ape. Go follow him. We plan on having him on more in the future to give you guys some NFT alpha that no one else is talking about. So, Honest, we wanted to thank you so much again, my friend, and enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully, the next time we bring you on, there's not going to be another lawsuit we got to sit here and worry about talking about. But
Coming with it. It was good seeing y'all, man. Appreciate it.
thank you,
All right,
brother.
thank
Take
you.
care.
Oh,
There you have it, guys. Some NFT alpha for you.
Dude, it puts in perspective that people are still dropping stacks on NFTs. And we get stuck in this little bubble of hey, the 10,000 JPEG version, but it is an industry that has artists that obviously can command millions of dollars for their artwork. No different than the real world, right?
And also the command.
The physical.
Robin, I command you to look at the crypto markets.
Oh my Lord. Bitcoin is up 26,700.
Okay. All right. Seriously.
What?
Why yesterday Bitcoin dumps?
You know,
Today,
it's
What's
fatigue,
going on,
right?
bro?
It's fatigue. Okay, yesterday, what happened? The Binance lawsuit. Everyone's like, "Oh crap, big exchange, SEC, like this is not good." And then today, SEC goes after Coinbase. They're like, "Again? Like I'm done with this. I'm tired of it. Like I'm not selling my bags." Anybody that sold because they were scared of the SEC would have sold yesterday. Anybody else is all like, "Oh, this is definitely the bottom signal, right?" Like, I mean, how much more bottom can it get? And Asia woke up like we were talking about yesterday, and they didn't sell any harder than than when we were at. So, my opinion, local bottom 25.6. We need to pull up archive. Somebody figure it out in the chat. We'll mail you something. But figure it out in the chat. What TA guy did we have on? It was about a week ago. They kept echoing 25.6, huge level of support. We're going to come down to 25.6. and they kept saying it over and over again. So, anyways, I think that
Who was
is
it?
the local floor.
Who was
I
it?
don't know. I'm asking the chat. I'm asking the chat
So you
later
forgot?
on after the show. Go do some investigation, figure it out who it is, come back, let us know. What TA expert called 25.6 as a very, very, very strong support that they thought they were going to come down and test? That's exactly what we did.
Was it Alex?
Nah, I
Might have been
don't
Alex.
think so. I think it was last week. So I think it was because Alex was on
Yeah,
last Thursday.
last week.
I don't think
It
it was
might have been Alex,
I don't know.
yeah.
It might have been. Whoever it was, we'll find out.
We'll find.
But
Go ahead.
what else do we got? Guess what, man?
What?
Guess
Man?
whose birthday it is?
Today is John. I have no idea.
No. Let's give a big round of applause. Happy birthday to the SEC. They are now 89 years old. Or what are we giving to this is Gary Gensler's latest post. It's amazing. I am just, what a great day, right? 89 years old today. Like,
Anyways, Robin,
I'm gonna get some blockchains in his
tell us where are the markets?
okay.
Where are
So
we?
we
What are
got,
we doing?
so Bitcoin, $26,730. And so taking a look, you can see we did on the news. Well, here's the thing. Actually, on the news that Coinbase was being sued right in the morning, it small dip, and then whoosh, everyone was like, psych. And perhaps this is just the traders just putting in positions. They're just expecting they're expecting dumb money to come in and short, because this is how the world works. You see, hey, Binance was getting sued yesterday, and well, what happened? We sold off 6% on Bitcoin, and now you wake up. I mean, it's common logic, right? You wake up and you're like, Coinbase is getting sued. Okay, let me put in some shorts. Well, we know what happens when the masses take a position. Smart money, the whales, they come in on the other side. They got more money than we do, and hey, they turn a profit. So that's that. Getting into the overall market, you have Pepe up 15%. You had a nice little leapfrog back into the green, and then ApeCoin up 12%. Lido up 15. Optimism. Basically, everything that sold off yesterday is back with a vengeance. And even MEXC token is now in the top 100.
Have you even heard about
Dogecoin is up 8%.
Have you heard
Elon tweeted about Doge today.
Have you heard about MEXC people having issues withdrawing certain tokens from the exchange?
No.
I haven't dug deep into it, but I've been hearing now.
No, they're fine. You also got a lot of people that are there's a lot of people out there that they dramatize, they freak out. They go to put in a withdrawal, sometimes it takes longer than. How many withdrawals have you done in your crypto lifetime where you're waiting longer than expected?
Yeah, a few.
Exactly. And then what do people do when it takes longer than expected? They get on Twitter and they freak out. Assets are frozen. My ass is frozen.
You know what's not frozen is Bitcoin. So I got Bitcoin on the Uno hour here, which if you're not familiar, that is 1 hour. So this is from Coinbase. So this is Bitcoin on the 1 hour. I got the Ichimoku on here. We blew right through the cloud. RSI is pretty high. It's coming in at 70. So technically oversold. But what I would expect price action to do here, and what I'd like it to do, is I'd like it to retest the top of this cloud, which would put us, let me throw a little flag on here for you guys, which would put us right at $26,425. If I am a swing trader or I'm looking to scalp, I would enter a long position at around 26,400. We shouldn't get a clean bounce off of the cloud. Seeing as we blew right through it, we did kind of create a double top here. You got a double top from here. This was yesterday. Yesterday at about 8 p.m. Pacific time. And then, of course, today, double tops usually are not good. It's, you hit up your head against the thing and then eventually you get rejected down. But some nice big green candles, a little bit of indecision currently with the formation of this candle we have here. It looks like it might end up being a spinning top, potentially. If that body gets a little slimmer, we might see a doji, which either way, those both signify uncertainty and indecision in the market. But if this price does move to that 26.4 level, I'd be looking to long it. Just if you do leverage trade, just please be careful. Always set tight stop losses and proceed with caution. And
I do want to have a moment here with you, the viewer, and ask you why the hell you haven't hit the like button. You already knew that was coming, man. Why we at 30% like ratio? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all don't like this show? Do you like Gary Gensler? Is that who you liking instead of us? Well, do us a favor. First of all, hit the like button. Second of all, I want to get this chat rolling because you guys are slightly active, but not enough. So let's get that Ola train going. I'm going to put the first one in the chat. I'm going to chat the Ola. So let's see if we can get over 100 Olas in the chat. And if you are new here, say hello so we can drop an Ola back at you. Little shout out to the new people I have spotted. We have Moonshine, Ryan M. Carter, Ray Run, El Bori, Jungle Walks, Pump, Sir Quest, RS Crypto, and RPM 87. Indie Rock Crypto as well. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
welcome, and we bid farewell to all the Bitcoin that is leaving Binance. 15,000
Jeez.
Bitcoin has left Binance in the last 24 hours. And on the contrary, 5,000 Bitcoin has entered Coinbase in the same time period. What is this? Okay. What does this tell you about what people's faith in Binance versus Coinbase, or people's faith in CZ versus Brian Armstrong, or does not say anything at all?
I'm surprised that Coinbase, Coinbase, here's the thing. This is a 24-hour change. Coinbase was up yesterday over 6,000 at some point. I don't remember. I just remember looking at it. So there has been some Bitcoin leaving Coinbase's exchange as well, but not to the level of Binance, which is pretty surprising. And I think that it has to do with the fact that you have Binance kind of got sideswiped, right? We were in this Binance we weren't really expecting it.
Right.
Coinbase, however, we already knew that was coming down the pipeline.
Okay.
And the Wells notice was there. They've already been vocal on Twitter. They've already said, hey, we're going to fight this thing out. We stand on the side of crypto. They've had nothing but promotional ads, one after another, basically saying like, hey, crypto's better than the crap that we have now, and we're going to stand up for you guys. And that's why I don't think we've had such a big movement when it comes to Bitcoin leaving the Coinbase exchange. No surprise here, put it that way. But the Binance thing caught me off guard, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's get take of our second guest today. We have one of our favorites, Cassius Cuvée. Let's patch him in. Cassius, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Great to be on. I really appreciate you guys having me on today, specifically because of the news, obviously, but also better than yesterday because we get to see how one day, another 24 hours on the news cycle, how that affects things. So I appreciate you having me.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on that, right? Binance sued, markets tank, 15,000 Bitcoin leaves Binance. Coinbase sued, markets rally, 5,000 Bitcoin enter Coinbase. If you were to take a shot at this and say why, why the inverse thing there? Well, what would you say?
My answer to that would be it's probably a little more random than we think. I don't think it's probably as straightforward as we'd like to hope to believe. What I do love about it, though, is that because, you got supposedly the SEC swinging two punches back to back, and the crypto market is still, it was like a one-day red day. You know what I mean? I'm not saying tomorrow can't be red, or maybe this isn't the beginning of a pullback or whatever the case may be over the next few weeks. But there wasn't like a panic, oh, crypto's dead. That's the end of it. And that's what I wanted to come on and talk to you guys about today, specifically, David, because I saw your post on Instagram. It was just like a short when you're talking about how what I've been saying for a long time, how crypto is global. And so, for example, I wake up this morning like I do every morning. I turn on CNBC. And just for a little bit of background, if you guys don't know, I've been on CNBC as a guest multiple times. They actually play my music videos. Yep. And they had a correspondent. So I always check in with the mainstream media because I don't want to get caught in a crypto bubble, right? If we just all we ever do is YouTube. we're not going to know what the mainstream says. So I definitely like to keep my finger on the pulse of what, mainstream financial media is talking about. Don't get much more mainstream than CNBC. And so I know that audience. I know the broadcasters, I know like their slants or whatever, and their guests as well. This morning, they had on somebody, a correspondent from the Money 2020 conference in Amsterdam. And I think this is very telling because remember now, this is on CNBC. And she's saying that the people she interviewed at Money 2020 are bullish on crypto, but bearish on America. And this kind of goes to what you were saying in your post. And I, just so you guys know, I went to Money 2020 last year when it was in Las Vegas in October. And I filmed a music video there called I Can Lead You to the Money. I was going around interviewing people it's a big fintech conference, like institutional banks and stuff are there. So I wanted to see what their perspective on blockchain was. And so the fact that they're talking about, okay, fine, we'll build it in Europe. Or like the news that recently came out last week about, okay, Hong Kong is becoming more accepting of crypto, which is, that kind of took us off guard, caught us off guard, but it may be in a good way that right. China is now loosening regulations, right? Did they give us the okie doke there where they make America be the bad guy for crypto and now they welcome it back, right? So the point of it is that the innovation is not what's dead. People say follow the money, which I believe in, of course, but also follow the innovation. They're like, okay, fine, we'll move it overseas. Crypto ain't dead. It's global. It's borderless. It's one of the reasons why I love it so much. And I think that's what you touched on in that post. And I wanted to come on and talk about that. And the reason why, the other half of what I want to mention was the Bitcoin halving. Like that's the tokenomics. That's the technology. That's what's developing. And that's what ultimately will drive the price of Bitcoin. And then the rest of the cryptos follow. I always say like Bitcoin's the sun and the rest are Ethereum is Jupiter and the rest of the other smaller planets. And, when that halving, closer we get to the halving, the more likely it is the price goes up because that puts pressure on the miners who have to be more efficient. Some might drop off. The other ones might get stronger. But basically, the price of Bitcoin has to go up in order for them to maintain their business operations.
You think the halving event has the power to trump anything going on from a regulatory standpoint here in the U.S. or even overseas? That even if what we're seeing today, spooking the markets, was happening a month before the halving or 3 months after the halving, where the price typically pumps, do you think the halving just trumps all of that and it wouldn't matter what's going on? Or do you think this could probably maybe push the next bull market out a little further?
I definitely believe the macro environment matters because like liquidity cycles, but ultimately, the fundamentals of Bitcoin being the halving, certainly long-term they matter. They definitely matter long-term. That's been proven time and time again. It's like a good reason. It was why it was built that way in the first place. It makes it more scarce. So it's definitely going to matter mostly on the halving long-term. The exact timing, I think, is a little bit less specific only because, it's a 4-year halving cycle. A lot of things in our like human society evolve in like 4-year cycles, whether it be election, liquidity cycles, or different types of things. So like there's a reason why it doesn't happen on like the day of the halving. All of a sudden everything pumps, right? It doesn't happen every time. There's always sort of a lag, a little bit of a gray area. Ultimately, that kind of is a built-in factor of why Bitcoin is going to be bullish for the long term. So it kind of does matter the most over the long term. The specific timing of when you get a massive pump may have a little more to do with like the macro environment.
Right. And Cassius, you brought up China and Asia. Well, here's a tweet I wanted to share. Hong Kong government approves trading for Sandbox, Cardano, Polygon, Solana, Axie Infinity. And in the same 7 days, the SEC sues Binance for having markets for those same exact tokens.
Literally, Rocco, pull this up real quick. Yeah, so just here's a visual chart here. So
perfect.
These are the ones that are listed in both lawsuits: Solana, Cardano, Matic, File, Sand, Mana, Algo, and Axie Infinity. Why is Axie Infinity in here? I'm curious. This is a currency in game. Like, why don't you sue V-Bucks and Roblox? Yeah. Like, I mean, honestly, like, when is the SEC going to sue them? It's a currency inside the game, man. Like, I don't understand this, dude.
I think they're just doing it to make a statement. You know what I mean? Just to say, because Axie Infinity, of course, was big, like in countries like the Philippines, where people were making money, like that's their job, is playing Axie Infinity at one point in time. So it had like a real world economic effect, and so that's why they're coming after it. But the key point is that this is again just the United States, and so. For example, my jeweler in New York, he's not into crypto every single day like us, but he's a crypto investor. So we talk about things every once in a while. And when I mentioned to him about Algorand, he was like, oh, the SEC's coming after Algorand. For someone who's kind of on the edges, they kind of read the headlines, a story here and there, that kind of FUD, it gets to those folks. which is why we have to have shows like this and conversations like this in public so people know what's the deeper meaning behind it. It's like, they're not just coming after Algorand, they're coming after all those ones on that list. And if they're coming after all those ones on the list, they're coming after the general thesis of all of the cryptocurrencies. It doesn't really matter in particular which one is the one. We know they're trying to stop it in the United States, or at least slow it down. The reasons why they're trying to do that, that's a different topic, a different discussion. Maybe someone's trying to come in there and buy the dip. I don't know.
I think you brought up a great point, Cassius. And I think those of us that have platforms, and, our platform is not that big yet, but when we do get there, I feel like in the phase we're in now in crypto, it's kind of our duty to get the information out there that mainstream media refuses to, and actually educate people, because the example you just gave with your jeweler, that's happening everywhere. I mean, look at the two biggest stories mainstream media picked up. It was FTX and Binance.
I'm just curious on why I have a baker that I go to, and barber, and you got a jeweler, and you know what I mean?
You can have all three, you know that.
I just say I ain't got enough connections, man. That's all I'm saying.
I'll plug you in, Rob. Don't worry, I got you covered.
All right, my dude.
Cassius, man, we wanted to thank you for coming on the show with us, brother. We appreciate you. We appreciate all the alpha, the info, the insight you bring us. Guys, if you want more Cassius Cuvée, he does have a YouTube channel, Poppin' Crypto. Also, he's on all social medias at Cassius Cuvée. So if you want more Cassius, go follow him. We appreciate you, my friend, and we look forward to bringing you on again. Have a great day.
Thanks, man. You guys too. I appreciate you having me on.
All right, brother. Take care.
I'm a jeweler, like my own private jeweler, right?
Jeweler.
Well, hey, man,
Fake chain off your neck. Maybe you can get a jeweler.
I'm a big silver guy, man. I feel like silver's and people just don't appreciate silver.
Okay, Robin Schiff, calm down. So now, of course, we had this from Brian Armstrong. The SEC filed their lawsuit officially regarding the SEC complaint against us today. We're proud to represent the industry in court to finally get some clarity around crypto rules, and it kind of lists what they did. The SEC reviewed our business and allowed us to become public. There is no path to come in and register. We tried. The SEC and CFTC had made conflicting statements. I think that's an important one, because if you can go to court and say these two agencies can't even agree, or can't even provide any clarity even for themselves, how are we supposed to know? I think that's going to be an intriguing talking point, an intriguing stance Coinbase can take. And I'm curious to see how that's going to play out. This is why the U.S. Congress is introducing new legislation. But guys, this thing takes years, man. It takes such a long time. I think we need like someone at the helm, whether it's at the helm of the SEC or the helm of the executive branch, being the president here of the United States. You need someone to rally them and be like, this is what I want, figure it out. And if you can't, then I'm going to do something about it. I don't know. We don't have that yet. Will we get that? Who knows? But going back to what Brian Armstrong tweeted, said instead of publishing a clear rulebook, the SEC has taken regulation by enforcement. Same things they've said. And then this was kind of interesting. So they posted this, Coinbase by the numbers. And so I think this one we can play the audio. Zero.
Oh, that's good, man.
You know what? Let's
they have a good media team over there.
Let's go ahead and retweet this. Bam, retweeted.
They got a good media team over there.
But
you know what media team be hating on Brian Armstrong? Just real quick. I'm gonna just want to
XRP
throw over to
community?
mine real quick, Rocco.
I know the XR community doesn't.
No, man. Jack here. He is what's his last name? Jack Dorsey. Yeah. So he pulled up out of the archives. Here is Brian Armstrong. And this was from 2015. Ripple, Stellar, altcoins are a distraction. Bitcoin is way too far ahead. Should be focused on Bitcoin and side chains. And he said, He retweeted this. Coinbase should pivot back to being focused on Bitcoin. Jack said 100. And then there was actually a nice little comment here from Wendy O. You made your fortunes censoring Americans.
Yeah. Wendy's social media Twitter game is fine.
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, just give you a perspective from other high profile people.
You know what's funny is, okay, let's all focus on Bitcoin. Well, guess what? There's people trying to reverse the SegWit and Taproot to not allow inscriptions on Bitcoin.
Here's the thing, like the problems that we have are with the SEC are not just with altcoins. I mean, they won't pass an ETF. They won't let you earn any rewards on Bitcoin. It won't let you mess around with ordinals, I'm sure. And so just because they're focusing on altcoins doesn't mean that they're embracing Bitcoin. They're just simply leaving it out of this round of regulation. And you best believe that if Coinbase and Binance only offered Bitcoin and Bitcoin services here in the States, they would find a reason to sue their ass still for that. But it's just easy, low-picking fruit that you have these meme coins and these other new layer ones that were released not too long ago that you could make an argument are likened to a security if you ignore all of the utility and all of the prospects that it has coming. But I'll just leave it at that.
I want to. This is from the actual SEC complaint letter, the lawsuit, right? It says, for example, the below page on Coinbase's website provides price movement and other market stats for Cardano, or as Jim Cramer called it, Cardanzo.
Cardanzo?
Cardanzo, that's what he said. Jim Cramer did. Yeah, it's great. And guys, you can go through this. It's sec.gov/litigation. You can see it on there. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but pretty much saying that you're giving people the information like stock, like Charles Schwab or a TD Ameritrade does. Therefore, it's a security, which is, I'm obviously, connecting the faraway dots here, but still. Then we have this. These are the tokens that the SEC says are securities. Solana, Cardano, Matic, Filecoin, Sand, Axie, Chiliz, Flow, ICP, Near, VGX. Like that.
So they threw Cardano in there again.
Cardano, yeah.
And, surprising, Charles Hoskinson put out his video yesterday. I listened to it. It's an entirety.
Oh, yeah? What is he talking about?
And he just dismissed this as this is how
Cardano was one of the few truly as decentralized as you can kind of get chains.
I don't know. I mean, it is still proof of stake. So, I mean, you can make an argument that proof of stake has control by the people that are staking versus, the pay. Anyways,
versus the miners?
Versus proof of work. But that's for a whole different discussion. I think proof of stake has a place. I think proof of work has a place. I think that obviously one takes a lot of energy. You can make an argument. Is it necessary? Doesn't really matter for our conversation here. Either way, surprised that Cardano's on both lawsuits. I'm also surprised that Charles was not more boisterous in opposition to the SEC's recent lawsuits. And he just was really dismissive and said, hey, this is what politicians and government have been doing throughout history. This is nothing new. We just need to come together and just keep building, essentially, is what he said. So,
but you brought up the word fatigue. Ask yourself this question. This morning when you woke up, Robin, you saw the news.
Mm-hmm. I was tired.
Versus the news from yesterday, Binance.
I woke up this morning and I was like,
what was your reaction? Yesterday I woke up, I was like, holy moly, what the hell? This morning I woke up, I was like,
and here's the thing, like we already knew the lawsuits. We were literally talking about it yesterday. I'm like, guys, play back yesterday's show. I was literally like, Coinbase has a Wells notice. They are gonna be sued in the near future. I didn't think it was gonna be tomorrow, but I did say by September, so within the next two months. And so,
Rob, there was a hearing today.
I'm telling you,
there was a House hearing.
Binance got a Wells notice at the same time that Coinbase
You
did.
just didn't hear about it?
Yeah. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
if they both got they both got drawn papers, or got sued, or the litigation was official, if we both received those within 24 hours of one another, then you know that they sent a Wells notice. They just kept it. CZ was just he probably just grabbed it and balled it up.
You think Charles was scared
Just
to
threw it
say
away.
anything
Kobe?
to get a?
Maybe.
You think Charles was scared? They want to get the target in his back. Just saying.
I think you just have an offshore company, CZ. They just didn't care. They were like, okay, whatever. And and I'm not saying that they don't want the U.S. residents business. They do, but at the same time, I'm sure they didn't even care to address it. I genuinely think that Binance is going to settle, so they don't have to go drug through the mud in this long term. I mean, look how much Bitcoin has left their exchange. And just imagine if they go into some lawsuit and then all of a sudden, every time the SEC has some damning piece of information that comes out, there's going to be a sell-off, right? We see it with the Ripple lawsuit. A lot of the breaking news tends to be on the Ripple side, but just imagine if it's on the SEC side. Just imagine if they're like, hey, here's some blockchain explorer information of where this man CZ's wallet did X, Y, and Z, which is illegal, and that gets put up as evidence. I just think that in Binance's case, they're probably just going to settle just to get this thing over with. And that's what big companies have done historically with the SEC. It's not very common for companies to go through the litigation process and go to court and seek judgment when it comes to securities law. They usually just pay the fine and keep it moving. It's not worth it for a lot of companies. And I think that because Binance operates offshore, they don't want that stain. That's my opinion. Coinbase, they're based here in the States. They need to operate within the framework that is the U.S. SEC, CFTC, all of that. And the one thing that they think they are beating the drum at, that they're screaming about, is that there's no clarity, there's no regulation, and you see it in that video we just showed. And so, no progress here in States, but abroad it is. I just hope Coinbase keeps up the fight. But unfortunately, it's going to be like a 3-year.
Going to be a
3-year court case.
Here's something interesting. So,
At least.
So 10 U.S. states are taking legal action against Coinbase for violating securities laws. This is led by, I'm just going to say it, the shithole known as California. Man, that place has turned into just such garbage. So they've led this, okay? I was like, please don't let Nevada be on here. Now, this isn't a cease and desist or anything like that, but it is a show cause notice. And so I decided, I'm like, what the hell is a show cause notice? It implies an order issued by a court, competent authorities, or an organization asking an individual or a group of individuals to explain or to show cause in writing concerning why the disciplinary action ought not to be made against the individual or the group of individuals engaged in the specific incidents. So essentially saying, Coinbase, give us a reason why you shouldn't be, why the SEC shouldn't sue you. And so, I don't know. So states are jumping on it too. That's why we talked about, on a state level, you can come out and say this, but at the end of the day, this thing needs to happen on a federal level. We also have, meanwhile, while the U.S. is driving everything away, other countries like Dubai are announcing partnerships with the biggest exchanges in the crypto space. Bybit has announced a partnership with the DMCC. This is the Dubai, kind of like the SEC or the financial institution oversight thing for Dubai. Bybit will facilitate crypto assets listings on one of the world's leading exchanges and provide support for crypto businesses. So overseas, they're taking this as an opportunity. U.S. is fumbling. Let's pick up the pieces and let's get ahead. U.S. is going to come crawling back on their hands and knees, say, please, when infrastructure is built in other companies when it comes to Bitcoin mining, and then maybe a breakthrough happens and it secures the power grid, and we maybe find a new form of energy or I don't know what.
Are we moving?
I don't know, man. We might have to.
I mean, we can go from one desert to another, bro. Don't matter to me. I'm going to bring my cactus with me.
You don't need to bring it with you.
I'm going to bring my cactus with me.
I got cactus garden in my front yard. And also I have a grapevine that is getting attacked by a lot of insects. I don't know what to do.
Oh,
So bring your cacti, okay?
those bags full of water.
Now,
It was scary.
speaking of spiny, thorny things that hurt when you touch them, Gary Gensler was on CNBC today, and he spoke.
Oh, he speaks too.
Yeah. Yes, Rocco, he spoke. Shocker, right? All right, let's see what he had to say.
SEC Chair Gary Gensler joins us this morning in a first on CNBC interview. Chair Gensler, it's great to have you back. Welcome.
It's good to be with you, sir.
We've had you on several times, and we've tried to get from you a sense of timing when there would be more clarity regarding this space. It feels like now's that moment.
Look, I think there's been clarity for years. The investing public has the benefit of the U.S. securities laws. Crypto should be no different. And these platforms, these intermediaries need to come into compliance and protect the investing public.
Which of the cases we're talking about, do you want to take them one by one? Which is more important in your view?
You're leading this interview. I'm going to follow you where you are. But let me just say this to the investing public. These.
You think that's what he said to Elizabeth Warren? When,
That's what he said.
Elizabeth, you're leading this thing. Just tell me what to say.
That's also what he said at Hogwarts. I'm just.
Stop We don't say his name, Robin.
I didn't say.
Name cannot be said.
Just.
Lord Voldemort. Wow.
He needs a nose job.
Okay.
You know, Gary had hair. I would like to see him have that little lizard haircut. That'd be pretty cool, right? Anyways, yeah. So let's continue.
Trading platforms, they call themselves exchanges, are commingling a number of functions which in traditional finance, we don't see the New York Stock Exchange also operating a hedge.
I don't think anyone disagrees that commingling customer funds is a bad thing, okay? I don't think anyone has any issue with that. I don't have any issue with that.
I don't think that regulating an exchange is a bad idea. I think it's a good idea.
Centralized entities should be regulated. I agree.
But to simply blindly dismiss everything as come into compliance with laws that regulate stocks and shares of a company that don't do anything other than profit sharing, I think it's unrealistic, especially when you look at cryptos that are decentralized and nobody controls it. Like,
right. Code.
Bitcoin cannot come in and regulate and register.
But
Cardano can't come in and register. Like, Polygon can't come in and register. Maybe Axie Infinity can, but they're in-game currency.
well, Smooth Love Potion is technically there. Anyways, let's continue, Gary.
Fund,
Right.
making markets, and as we alleged in Binance, having a sister organization, flooding the platform with transactions called wash trading, and the lack of controls on the platforms is really a web of deception and conflicts, along with a control person, Mr. Zhao, trying to evade U.S. law.
And given the timeline we're talking about, what do you say to viewers who wonder why enforcement has taken arguably at least several years, so long?
Look, it takes time. We do things by the book. That's what the American public would want us to do. We follow the facts and the law. And I couldn't be more proud of the investigative teams at the SEC working together with colleagues in our various divisions of trading and markets, our general counsel's office, 5 commissioners. But it really, it's a lot of, a gumshoe, walk in the beat investigation. to build a case like what you've seen alleged in a 136-page complaint.
Mr. Chairman, a lot of it is hard to understand. For instance, in the Binance complaint, you say, Mr. Chairman, I need to know this. The SEC's Binance complaint also seeks emergency relief, like an asset freeze, expedited discovery, and even the appointment of a receiver. Are there more pleadings coming? Because if you do this, that's the end of Binance.
Look, we have concerns, and I think the investing public should be aware of putting their hard-earned assets onto these platforms. But we have concerns when a platform like this
17% of the total crypto market is U.S. Just throwing that out there. And Coinbase is the largest U.S.-based exchange, so I don't know the percentage of revenue that comes into Binance from the U.S. alone. Less than 17%, I'm sure of that.
Are you including Binance US? Are you talking about like the companies?
No, I'm just saying that total on exchanges, the U.S. only makes up 17% of crypto transactions. So 83% is global. And of that 17%, how much of those transactions are done exclusively on Coinbase? And so what I'm saying is that Binance does not need the U.S. Binance would like the U.S. Binance, I'm sure, makes a lot of money off the U.S. Right. But they will not cease to exist because the SEC sues them. Sorry, Jim Cramer.
Sorry, Jimmy. And it's Cardano, not Cardanzo.
Out to the public is consciously trying to evade U.S. law and customer funds. You didn't even know who was custodying them. Was it custodied here in the U.S. on the U.S. platform? Was it custodied overseas? Or were some of your funds in crypto possibly moved to affiliates? There are a number of affiliates named in this called Merit Peak and Sigma Chain. It's fundamentally a lack of controls, deception, conflicts. And yes, we're going to do that which we can in front of the courts and make, to the extent we can, the facts known and the public protected.
Like, no one has an issue with that. I want to know if I put money on your exchange. And then, I want to know you're not doing anything shady with it. I don't think anyone has an issue with that. But when you start going out saying you can't list this, you can't list that, well, why can't we list it? Well,
if you say it's a security, then okay, so what makes it a security?
Yeah, tell us so we cannot list it.
Or at least tell us what guidelines you use to deem it a security or a commodity.
I think that's the thing, what he's saying, that they want, come in and register so we can make sure this, and this. I don't think that part, at least me personally, I don't have an issue with. I don't want my funds to be commingled. I don't want them to use my funds to whatever, to run it through 10 different shell companies and invest in it. I don't want them to do that. I want to know, do they have the money there? Is it safe? Can they do anything shady? I want to know those things. So we don't have an issue with that. The issue is how he's going on about it. I want to know. There's a solution out there, but there's not.
I want to know what the chat thinks. If you guys think that we need some regulation, we'll just keep it vague. If the U.S. needs regulation, both for the crypto markets, for them to succeed, put a 1 in the chat. If you think that that regulation should just be left alone, it's a decentralized network. We don't need the daddy government over here to tell us how to run it. It runs itself. Put a 2 in the chat. I'm just curious, you guys, what you guys think. 1, a little regulation or a lot of regulation. 2, stop touching my crypto.
Also, I'm not going to play the rest of this video, but in here, he did say, he was asked a question about, what about people that need or we need digital assets or digital currencies? He goes, we have digital currencies. We don't need any other digital currencies. Then he goes off to list the dollar, the euro, the yen. And so I think they see this as a direct threat. Fed now is coming next month. Man, I think it was Charles Hoskinson who put out a tweet and said they're clearing the way for a CBDC.
You know what is a lot of ones and twos, but I feel like there's more twos in the chat. Kind of surprising. No, I could make an argument for both. And here's the thing: if there is no regulation and they just keep this enforcement crap, at some point, crypto is just gonna be the go-to black market option, right? Because that's essentially what it's gonna be, and the U.S. is gonna keep printing money, and you know what? Our debt keeps growing, and something's gonna break. Or we're just going to bleed ourselves to death over time. And in the same way that
nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
All right. So to somebody that needs a little recognition would be new people in our chat. Wow. If you are new here, say hello so we can drop an old lot back at you. Also, hit that damn like button. We have a few new people. Prophet Bear, Crypto Saiyan, Michael Knight, EF, Ricardo Ravalaka, Ricardo Chupacabra, we got ADABB, Noel G, Cursive, Vargan, Kello Crypto, Tony C, and American Therapy. To all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Did you say Ricardo Chupacabra?
So, hopefully you didn't take offense to that. Now, on a lighter note, so we opened up with the. Do
you think the Chupacabra's real?
Do you think Bigfoot's real?
No,
I don't think Bigfoot's real.
Do you think Chupacabra's real?
I think Chupacabra is real, but not in the way that we think of it. I think we just had like a rabid wolf or something like that.
We just gave it a cool name.
Yeah, man. It was some hungry ass animal just out there just chewing up on the cattle, and so
on the cattle.
Or it could just be like a crackhead that just was running around.
There was this coworker we used to work with. We used to call her Chupacabra because she had a lot of hair. Anyways.
That's cold, man. That's cold.
How did you know that Chupacabra has a lot of hair?
All right. So we opened up with
an Italian Chupacabra.
We opened up with the Apple Provision. We kind of discussed that. AI is exploding. The gaming sector is kind of taking off. And so I've been thinking about the prospect of AI gaming, and also you integrate the headset. And so NVIDIA just 2 days ago, obviously kind of got foreshadowed by the Apple news, but this is kind of cool. Take a look here. So you have an AI generated. So this is a video game, right? But
this is a video game?
Yeah. So this is a video game, or this is a demo of a video game. So here. Interesting. So if you've played video games in a role-playing kind of way, you run into non-playable characters, also known as NPCs. They have scripts, right?
Yeah, that's what that stands for.
You didn't know that?
No.
So they have scripts. And so you always have the same conversation no matter how many times you play. Now they've plugged AI in.
Try there.
And so here,
I'll go.
This demo is somebody talking with the headset to a person, and the person is replying with words. And this is not scripted. And so every time you play, you're going to have a different conversation with this person. And so you can kind of program what. So this is where we're going.
That's cool.
Okay.
Kind of cool, right? I mean, so you got, so.
I just remember the conversations I had in GTA 5 with those crackhead dealers there.
Yeah.
It would be nice to get a different conversation.
Yeah, so now you can have actual conversation, and you have the, and here's a little, and here's him talking about it.
This is the CEO of NVIDIA.
All you have to do is go up and talk to this character. And because this character has been infused with artificial intelligence and large language models, it can interact with you, understand your meaning in a really reasonable way. All of the facial animation completely done by the AI. We have made it possible for all kinds of characters to be generated. They have their own domain knowledge. You can customize it, so everybody's game's different. Look how wonderfully beautiful they are and natural they are. This is the future of video games. Not only will AI contribute to the rendering and the synthesis of the environment, AI will also animate the characters. AI will be a very big part of the future of video games.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so
we're so new in AI, man. We're gonna see some crazy stuff in our lifetimes, man.
Dude, the put your seatbelts on. That's all because what we
Where's
just
the seatbelt prop?
Yeah, I need a seatbelt prop, man. And
let's go to the junkyard and pick one up.
The junkyard?
Yeah.
What are we gonna buy? Like
We're gonna buy.
Seatbelt.
who goes to the junkyard anymore?
When you
Wait,
need
we're
odd-ended-
not Alabama crypto here, man. This is Sin City. You say we're gonna go down to the
Alabama-
junkyard. We're gonna get ourselves some props.
Hey.
I'm gonna have a steering wheel and drive this show a different direction.
Alabama crypto.
You know, but
Roll Tide.
get
Roll Tide. All right.
an eye chair for Dave. You know, a child eye chair.
Guys, go follow us on all of our social medias. We're at on Twitter the most.
We're also launching Alabama crypto.
Stay tuned for that. Yeah. Guys, if you're not subscribed, subscribe, hit the notification bell, visit our merch store. If you're a well member, you do get 10% off as long as you're a well member. And big thank you to our two guests, Honest and Cassius Cuvée. With that being said, Rocco. Also, big shout out. I'm going to tornado us into our channel sponsor, Cam's Blue Wire Tech. If you're having internet issues, internet outages, IT, if you need IT support and help,
Or if you're launching an Alabama crypto channel and you need to set up the IT there.
call Cam's Blue Wire Tech. Visit BlueWireTech.com. Big thank you. They are the sponsor of today's show. Now, that was a Category 1 tornado. This is a Category 3 tornado. Let's go.
I don't know what I'm gonna tell you what kind of tornado.
Guys, we love you. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Cassius today for the fire outro music. Please enjoy it. Come back tomorrow. Same place, same time. We'll see you then.
Sin City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I spit the game, but they gave it. Name the coin that's your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming hola till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar. Won't I? Don't be letting FOMO control ya. It's over when the finger tornado close ya.